Hi, Nikita. This is Jessica, and I will be doing your professional development review. I wanted to first start off with by saying that I really thought the overall um, reading of your review was great. I really like that you added a lot of aspects of effective professional development in your 3-day sessions. One of the main things that really stood out to me was the many opportunities that you put in for your colleagues to collaborate with each other. I noticed that in each of the 3 different sessions, you did so many activities with them where they were able to work together in groups to get the work done and to kind of really understand why they were doing it and how they were going to unpack these standards. And that was one of the main things that stood out. Another amazing thing that you did in this professional development series was to add that reflection part aspect into each session, and it kind of really came out as like a learning cycle where the educators will first learn the material, then they would reflect on the material, and then they would apply the material. And I thought that was an amazing way to kind of get educators to really start thinking about themselves in their own teaching profession, what they already know and what they can learn, and kind of really drive in how they can impact student learning. So that was really an amazing part that I noticed that I thought you did very well in all 3 sessions. The one thing that I did notice was that for it to be kind of an effective professional development, it really needed to have that ongoing aspect. And I didn't see where you were having them have this continuous dialogue, throughout the school year. Like it kind of just stopped after the 3rd session. I noticed that you mentioned a professional development portal, and it kind of didn't really state whether they were able to communicate with each other. I know you said that they could upload activities or lesson plans, but there was no really communication factor in the portal. So I thought maybe suggesting something like a professional development community, something like the professional learning communities that could have teachers really connect with each other and have that continuous dialogue where they're still learning from each other, they're refining their practices, and just kind of having that continuous dialogue throughout the year. Because it was great. The 3 sessions kind of really laid a base for what you were trying to do, was for them to unpack the standards. But as we know, for effective professional development, that needs to be a continuous conversation that they're continuous learning from, speaking to each other about, and getting that feedback when they actually do those applications. So I thought that was just the one element that it really needed. Another thing that I really saw that I liked is that you really tied in all of those guiding principles in adult learning theories, especially the part where it was a combination of instructor-led and self-directed approaches for learning of the unpacking of the standards. Having those two really helped me understand what everyone was expected to do. I'm a visual learner, and so I like to hear the directions, but also I like to apply those directions into the work that I'm doing so that I can get a better understanding. Because once I hear it, and if I don't ever come back to it, I would never really apply it ever again. So kind of having those moments where you had the instructor model what they were going to do, and then you had the participants actually complete the assignments. That really helped me to get a better understanding. We did something similar in my school's professional development when we were unpacking the standards, and that was one of the main components that really helped me to understand. So I really like that part. I also like that the whole professional development was actually focused on this academic content, which it's one of those main principles in adult learning theory, is that the what you are learning really has to affect your work skills or your understanding to really help to impact your work. And I just felt like you really everything was very consistent. Everything was um, very much in line with what you wanted them to learn. overall, I think it was a really great um, professional development series. It was wonderful, it was really well written, and I think you did an amazing job. Speak to you soon.